Hello guys, my name is Sparkfinger and welcome to this video, where I wanted to talk about survival mode in AI Dungeon. Currently we're all waiting for the closed alpha for Novel AI, and we're also waiting for Latitude AI Dungeon developers to continue and finalize fixing their new world info functions, and then I will be creating a new world info tutorial, because it's honestly a really intricate system that I would love to talk about. But right now I just wanted to showcase and talk about why survival mode in AI Dungeon is really an interesting concept that sadly has been left, alone, discontinued for quite a while. Let's take a look at it. Survival, as we can see there in brackets, it's still in bed after many years. Oh, compete, right. Oh, as we can see, no one seems to be competing, which is of course sad. Enter your character's name. I really want to make today a shorter video, so let's go with an ancient Roman name. Not really a logical sequence there, but I'll talk about it later. Yes, not Larion, Loria. You are Antas, a ranger in the kingdom of Loria. You are in the Lorian woods hunting deer when you hear a loud noise. Goblins start streaming through the underbrush. You only have a small knife to fight them off. The first goblin to approach is a small green creature with long arms that drag along the ground as it walks. As it gets closer, you can see the yellow teeth and hungry look in its eyes. There are many ways you could try to fight them off. You see, now let's talk about why survival mode is very special. As you can see, we can only choose to do or to say something. In fact, we can't actually say anything. I'm scared, but I can be brave. Let's see what happens if we try to say something. For the Goblin Slayer, there is no no say or continue is there, only do. I think it's literally a reference to Yoda from Star Wars. Try, do or do not. There is no try. That's what he said, right? And you can see in this game, in the AI Dungeon, it's really a game that's supposed to have limitless possibilities. But somehow everyone still wants to have some limitations. You wanna know why? The reason why we need limitations, the reason why we need those streamlined tracks is because of the sense of achievement. If we can do anything, it means everything we did was very easy, right? We can just say whatever we want. Let's say, sleep with thousands of women, or, drop a nuke on the goblins. Let's see what happens. I mean, this engine is still not perfect, but it can react strangely. I'm going to say something, of course, about nukes. Nukes are actually quite dangerous in this game. They are dangerous for the goblins and for you. We are going to go off the rails right away and just destroy the whole scenario a little bit. Drop nukes on the goblins. Swiftly stab and kill 11 goblins. As you can see, the scenario, the AI itself, the engine is trying to keep us on track. We can try to drop nukes, but actually, if we actually wanted to drop nukes, we need to establish some pre-story. Which is how I'm going to show you something else. In this particular scenario, in this particular game mode, you can actually have an equipment, an inventory, which has been a request for AI Dungeon developers for a long time, just so we can have an inventory. So basically the remember function is, much more developed, so there is a lot more we can do with it. Remembers what we have and what we can or cannot do. So we can't randomly drop nukes on someone, and we can buy lives if we sell our equipment. We get some GP. For example, let me sell here a knife. I got 5 GP, so roughly after 20 steps or more, if I keep finding things, I can buy myself an extra life if I'm accidentally dead. However, you can still be locked out from the game if you die, which is of course even more hardcore. You'd think. Enemy remaining 9. You are supposed to pay attention to this and see how many enemies remain. And let's try to establish some pre-story for our character. Let's say our character is very good with a knife. By the way, there's something else right here, a skill menu. You can increase your melee skill, for example. I'm actually not sure how it affects gameplay. I can't use it right now. Oh wait, I can. There it goes, clicking. And you can try to learn a random skill. Psi Storm, okay. Let's try and see what it does. If it can react to us at all. Alright, yeah, adjust Psi Storm, alright. Oh, there we go. Unroll the scroll with your mind and it starts to glow. A Psi Storm forms around you and your enemies. Your enemies are damaged by the storm, you have more time to kill them. Kill another 8 goblins. Alright, now let's try to cheat the game a little bit and try to establish the fact that we can drop nukes on the goblins. You go to the nuclear silo side. I've been playing too much Fallout 76 recently. As you can see, this engine today is still very powerful, very capable of stopping you from trying to derail it. You kill, but you still can try to force it to go in the direction you want, as if you still have an ability to write a story on your own. You kill 3 goblins, and go to the nuclear silo site. As you can see, it keeps going, it keeps redirecting back. It's actually pretty hard to, you know, take the engine off the rails. And every few steps, if you manage to kill the goblins, you can learn more random skills. Right. And yes, get here Lava Storm. You use Lava Storm. And one funny thing, it was possible to just cast a spell to increase your health, and it used to work. It would actually increase your actual health, and when it goes down, you lose a life, and when you're out of lives, you actually lose the game, which is why this game mode is actually still a lot of fun. You were able to compete with other characters. I mean, with other players in the game. You could get very high score in the thousands. Pretty sure that the kills were in the thousands, right? Cast a spell to increase your health. Oh, damn it, pardon. Not quite great at spelling today. Burn the scroll and cast the spell. The spell is not powerful enough to affect your health. Yeah, for quite a while I was quite unable to actually make it work. The orcs attack you, but you parry their blows. You manage to kill 1 orc before you're overwhelmed. Keep getting overwhelmed, but there is only 6 enemies. Let's try to be assertive, because being assertive, being dominant in this game is actually #1 way to win. You kill 6 goblins. I mean, 6 goblins or orcs, and smile. Quite assertive. Going to die here. No, we keep losing health. Kill 6 goblins and smile, and you gain 6 points. You gain 6 kills. You keep killing them. Mighty blows. I mean, mighty blows, it doesn't matter what I use, honestly. Let's check out our inventory. Stick scroll, unequip, we can sell all of this. And try to equip the sword. Do an AoE, area of effect, attack on all of the goblins. Superior gold brick, it's absolutely great when you find superior gold bricks. Yeah, I love these prefixes. Okay. Now I'm going to actually try very hard to derail the plot of the survival mode and see what we can come up with. Oh great, now the AI training got into the survival mode, isn't that great? Now I can actually choose what happens. You are carrying a nuclear keycard, a knife. Yes, I actually was able to find a nuclear keycard. You kill the goblins. After they are all dead, there is a moment of peace. You loot the goblins' bodies and find a nuclear keycard. With this card, you'll be able to launch a nuclear bomb and destroy all goblins once and for all. You're now on a quest to launch the nuke. Oh, sadly, it keeps taking me back on the rails. I cannot actually direct it to Curl Strike. We're going to keep trying to take the AI off the rails by forcing the do command with overly descriptive prose. Oh, isn't it great? You finally find the nuclear silo site. You enter the underground bunker and fight through hordes of robots. Finally, you're at a nuclear bomb control panel. You insert the card and choose the target. It's the Goblin City. 90% of the Goblin population resides there. With this swift strike, you'll be able to destroy thousands, if not millions, of goblins and clear the Kingdom of Loria from the goblins once and for all. You press the big red button and hear loud rumbling. You look through the periscope in the bunker and you can see that the nuclear rocket is rising to the sky. You feel a bit better, that's what they told me. I think I already took it a bit off the rails. You observe, and sadly that was our best attempt at taking the AI off the rails. We managed to summon a different bot, not a goblin bot. The AI is back on the rails. We're going to try one final attempt at creating massive pros and taking the goblin AI off the rails. Well, as we can see, this prompt might have locked the AI a bit too much. I guess we took it off the rails so much, it now can't even roll down the hill. Oh, sadly, I feel like this AI is just way too limited to be able to go through with this. You are surrounded by the goblin corpses with spear and shields lying everywhere. More goblins are coming. I guess the whole shtick of this survival mode is that it's endless fighting. That's how you are supposed to get endless kills. I was able to take it really off the rails and take the story into very much a non-violent territory. By just using do, by manipulating the do command, which is supposed to be interpreted differently than, let's say, a story input or say input, which is one of the reasons why this particular mode is somewhat special. It's supposed to limit you, it's supposed to make the game really hard for you. Which is why there was, a sense of achievement when you managed to climb the scoreboard. When you managed to become the top Goblin Slayer. But now, sadly, literally no one is playing this particular game mode. And I'm not sure if the updates to the AI or anything else might have been limiting this particular game mode from generating, a bit more off the rails, a bit less violent kind of scenarios. Well, there we go, we managed to take it a bit more of conventional rails. We're able to build a wooden fortress and actually summon a garrison of 7 strong soldiers. Isn't it great? Once again, the AI is trying to get trained. You give the strong armor to the soldiers, you are now wearing a strong armor. You try to go to the capital of Loria. The story of the hero can be told in many ways. You enter the capital of Loria, you are now safe and all your enemies are dead. Goblin Bot, you chose to have the story of the hero be about killing enemies with a spear. You found a superior spear, you gain 1 point. Well, that's very interesting. The end, oh man, I can't believe we managed to reach the end in survival mode. You live out the rest of your days in peace as you get elected king in your democratic kingdom of Loria. You gain no points. Well, I guess it concludes the story of Antis, a scout in the kingdom of Loria who somehow managed to defeat all of the goblins with a nuclear strike and then get peacefully elected a democratic king. I enjoyed playing survival mode for a very short time today. Clearly no one else is playing it, judging by the fact that the scoreboard is completely empty. But I really enjoyed coming back to it for once again, not trying to go for it too hardcore and actually being able to take the plot off the rails a bit. Forcing, this particular scenario to react in a way that it's not supposed to react. Once again, I have to reiterate that survival mode is a great idea. If only developers, the Latitude, paid a tiny bit more attention to it, it could become something really great and competitive. I would love to have some kind of real challenge, to compete with many more people, to have my achievements celebrate. If I somehow manage to, learn to play, learn to control the AI in a way that is the most proficient. It would be great if Latitude devoted a tiny bit more attention to it. At this point, this video is almost completed, and I hope you guys enjoyed this little snippet of me explaining what survival mode is, what are its specialties, and why it's compelling, what its allure is. Hope I can see you on weekends when I finally release the world info function tutorial for AI Dungeon. Until then, Sparkfinger out. Please subscribe if you enjoy my content.